And just a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to ask everyone to stay on mute with the exception of our presenters, where make sure you guys unmute yourselves. And we're welcome to the business of produce, how we grow, share, and create opportunities for families. We're going to talk to you a little bit about that, and so you can understand who we are and why we are and what we do. And my name is Robin. My background is a nutritionist. I've had a nutrition company for 13 years, and I've been in love with health and nutrition for a long time. Primarily started for my own personal enjoyment, and it blossomed into something else. I want to do just a little bit of Zoom etiquette. I think I said this, just stay on mute. And if you have your camera on, and if you go to the restroom, we're going to see you. So make sure that if you don't want that, to turn your camera off. So I think that's it. And hopefully we'll have some time to answer some questions. So I'm going to tell you a little bit, and then we're going to hear from our guests. And so why the business of produce, and what is this all about? And so we invited you here because we believe that you are interested in health and nutrition in some way or another, or feeding your family well. And what we're facing as a society, we're facing a lot of things, but specifically with our food supply and food insecurity. When you go to the grocery store, at this point, food may or may not be there, but the produce is given to us in such a way that the nutrients aren't there. It's picked before it's ripened. And a lot of people don't know that, let's say tomatoes, when they're picked, they're green, and some chemicals are added to them and make them red and pretty and shiny. And then when they're sitting in the grocery store, you're like, oh my goodness, this is the best tomato in the world. When you taste it, it's missing the nutrients that our bodies need to thrive. And because we have food issues where the food that we eat is not nutritionally dense, and then we have all of these toxins in the environment, which you can't avoid because you have to breathe, that perfect storm is a recipe for health challenges. And if you know that, you'll see that people are plagued with so many different things. When I started in the field of nutrition, I didn't see the level of autoimmunes and just all the things that I see now. And it is a direct result of what we don't have in our bodies to mitigate what's coming in. And so you're going to hear from our community of, I would say we're fruit and veggie dealers, right? We have a passion for growing and sharing produce. We do this, well, most of us, I think, for a living. We do it for fun. We do it because we love it. And we've been able to actually create a business out of sharing fruits and vegetables and helping others grow. Real quick, my story before I introduce you to some of the others that we have here. So as I mentioned to you, I'm going to share my screen for a second so that I can just show you something, and then I'll pop back out. There was about, I would say it was about 4 years ago that I saw this device right here called the Tower Garden. And when I saw this device, I liked it because I thought, they told me, and I'm not a gardener, I just want to eat well, but I don't want to put my hands in soil and do all of that. And when they told me that I could get it and I couldn't screw it up, and then it didn't require me to do a lot of maintenance, I said, you know what, I want that. And I had no idea what it would open me up to. I literally just wanted it for my own personal use. And the lady that was a distributor or a provider of the tower, she said to me, you can, for $52 for the year, you can have your own distribution rights. And I thought, she said, you can buy it from yourself. So I thought, okay, sure, fine, whatever. So that actually opened something marvelous for me. So I actually became my company, Necessary Nutrition, took in a franchise for this device. And then we started to help others grow and share. And it just turned into something I couldn't even have imagined. So I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen again. We're going to come back to the screen share in a little. But I wanted you to see what the tower looks like. and I'll give you some more details about it, but I can tell you this: it grows without soil, it waters itself, and it grows 30 different raw fruits and vegetables. And I would say it's like having a farmer's market right outside of your door. So we want you all to see, again, what we do, how we do, and why we do it, just to introduce you to this, because it's something that we're passionate about, and we want people to know about what we're doing. So with that being said, I want to have some buddies of mine, and we're from different walks of life all across the country. We're all a part of this growing produce community. And if you all can just, as I call your name, share where you are in the country, and then your background. So Katie, can you tell us where you are and your background?
Hey guys, so I'm in the Midwest. I'm originally from Missouri. I've been in Mount Carmel, Illinois for 6 years now. And my background is trauma surgical ICU nurse at Barnes-Jewish Hospital in St. Louis. Woo! Love St. Louis. I've been retired for 6 years, raising my, at the time, 3 kids. Now we've got 5. So, yeah, that's.
And did you say you were a trauma nurse? I was trying to make sure my computer was on. You said that. Okay, yep. Perfect. And then Michelle, where are you in your background?
Good evening, guys. Hi, I am in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale to be exact, and I am a former IT professional, and currently I am a certified health coach, and I've been partnered with this company for 9 years.
9 years.
And I'm a mom and I'm a wife.
Okay.
And a mom of 2.
All right.
When I started this, my kids were babies. So it's been pretty incredible to see them and my tower just like grow together.
Got it. And then Elizabeth, where are you? Make sure to unmute yourself. Okay.
I'm here in Costa Mesa, California. I'm an attorney who got introduced to these towers slowly.
Okay.
And that's my background. I thoroughly enjoy the community, and I'm still a licensed attorney and partner with this company to help people grow healthier.
Got it. And we'll come back and we'll dig into this a little bit more. And then Latasha, where are you and what's your background?
Hello, I am Latasha and I am in Florida. I'm in Dade City, Florida, which is a little bit outside of Tampa. I'm from Tampa. And my background is I spent over 10 years in the fitness industry as a personal trainer, fitness instructor, and operations manager of 2 fitness facilities. I am now a certified holistic life and health coach and law of attraction coach and empowerment coach and Reiki master. So I had I have other stuff too. my life coaching business.
Wow. Okay. So here's my next question for you all is, how long have you been growing your own produce? And share your experience and the benefit of growing. What has that done for you and your family? So I'm going to go back around to Katie. How long have you been growing, and what benefits has that provided for you and your family?
So we've been growing for 3.5 years. And the benefits have just been having accessible, 12 months out of the year, food, having accessible, lettuce for our smoothies and basil for all of the Italian. My husband's Italian, so, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Or the way to a man's heart is through your tower, let me tell you, because that fresh basil, it does, it's awesome.
That's what got you 5 kids, girl, that basil.
Yeah, it was the basil, girls. So you need to get you some.
Got it. And then I want to ask this question of you because I know this, like your babies, they ask for vegetables and fruits and ask for smoothies and all of that.
Well, and for those of you who don't have a tower, my entire I have a 2-year-old who's, my 2 and my 4-year-old have almost, grown up since 3 and up, or 1 and up, my last 2. And the lower portion of the tower, which Robin showed the picture earlier, I mean, it would almost always be empty because they would pull it out and eat it. So, I mean, how can you, part of me was like, oh, stop eating. But then I'm like, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, they're eating. So we just got to where Teddy, who's 2, where he'll let me actually cut the lettuce to put in his smoothie instead of just pulling it out of the pod.
Got it. And then Michelle, same question. How long have you been growing your own produce? And just share your experience of the benefits of growing for you and your family.
So I have been growing for 8 years. I initially got the tower 8 years ago when the company first came out with it. So I was one of the first to have it. And the funny thing is, I never imagined myself as a gardener. My husband literally laughed when I said, I'm going to get this, because I attended an amazing conference right when they were coming out with it. And the creator of the tower talked about the future of growing. And when he started to talk about how we are running out of soil that is fertile, that is, you know, a really good way to grow, we're running out of that. And we're running out of space. It just really made sense for me to say, you know what, even though I have a black thumb, I am not someone who likes to get dirty, any of that. This makes sense. But the good thing is, with the tower, you don't have to get dirty. There's no soil, and everything grows really fast. So when I first started, my kids were 2, just like Katie's, and 4, 2 and 4. And it was like it was like an at-home project. Every day we ran out to go look at the tower because everything grew so quickly, and we could see the changes almost every day. It was pretty phenomenal. And back then they used to pick and eat it too. My daughter used to make like these scallion and tomato and chive sandwiches and stuff them in her mouth. It was incredible to see her do that. So, I mean, it's just so much fun, especially when you have kids. I'm in awe every time because I know naturally if I was doing this in soil, I would be a disaster. But because the tower makes me look amazing and so good because it does most of the work, I go out and I feel this sense of accomplishment. So it's just, it brings me joy. It's 8 years later and I still get a lot of joy from my tower garden.
Awesome. And then Elizabeth, how long have you been growing? And you grow indoors and outdoors. I want to make that clear. How long have you been growing? And then what has been your experience by growing your own food?
Oh my gosh. Well, this is our 3rd summer with our tower gardens. And I've got to say, I'm just sitting out here with them and I'm sitting eyeball to eyeball with those beautiful strawberries there. And I just, like she said, I'm a kid with this that comes out here and sees these blossoms for the squash. And it brings out the kid in you to actually be able to grow your own food, and it grows 30% faster. So every few days you're like, oh, wow. You know, whether it's your arugula or whatever. We got an in-home tower with the lights, which I have outside right now and not with the lights, using, you know, the sunshine that we have rather than the lights. And they came out with a really sleek, beautiful model for in-home that I'm thoroughly enjoying. So we grow and eat and share with others. And it is one of the best gifts you can share with others and introduce them. If you have dogs or anything else, and I'm like you, I tried growing, you know, tomatoes upside down, and I've never had this experience like I do now. And it is something that reminds you God is always growing us.
Thank you. Awesome. And Latasha, how long have you been growing? Same question. And what benefits have you found by growing?
So I'm the newest grower on this team, right? So I just started growing in April.
Awesome.
And yeah, literally in April. Now I was introduced to it about two and a half some years ago, but I wasn't interested at the time. Until the pandemic happened and I saw the need for it. So I started growing in April, and amazing the fact that it grows so fast, right? So I didn't even have to wait a full month to start, you know, eating off of my tower. you know, so it really helped me to not have to rely on going to the grocery store to buy my lettuce. I am vegan, so I eat produce all the time, right? So it eliminated the need for me to have to rely on the grocery store for my produce, especially at a time like this, right? So that's like the major impact that it's had on me and my family. My youngest son is 12. So putting it together, you know, like that experience of him helping to put it together and then doing our seeds and watching the seeds sprout and put them in the tower. Like that's an amazing experience. Like, you know, Michelle and Katie were saying, you know, when you have kids and they can see it, and then they know that when they are eating, it's coming from our own tower, we're growing it. And my older son is 19. He's in Tower Gardens too. He's in the business. So that's a huge impact to say that, you know, it's made a huge impact on my whole family, both of my kids, and now my older son, hey, he's in the business now, helping other people do the same thing, you know, and, you know, growing your own fruits and vegetables in your own home. And me with my background as a you know, health coach, I help people all the time. So being able to help people grow their own food and put money back in their pocket is huge. It's really huge. But I'm the newest grower. I just started, never grew anything outside, never grew a plant, nothing. Like, so, so that's why when I was into it 2 years ago, I was not interested.
you said something that I want to say is actually you put money back in your pocket in two ways, because one way is you're saving money because you're not going to the grocery store and buying the produce, and then you're literally putting money back in your pocket because you partner with this company where we actually can provide the towers for others. And for me, I've been growing for 4 years, and my daughter, who's 15, puts it together. She's out there making pesto from the basil, and it's like when your kid grows it, they will eat it. That is one way. Because people say, how do you get your kid to eat produce? I'm like, if she grows it, and there's something about it, if you're growing it, you fall in love with it a different way. And I think that's a real strategy for people who want their children and families to get more produce, is to grow it. And so here's my two last questions, or here's my question. So we're in this business. So we all do this at some level as a business, which means that we garner some type of revenue from sharing. And so my question is, why did you decide to partner with this company? And for those of you who are listening, I'm going to tell you more about the company and all of those things, but what made you decide to partner with the company at all? So Katie, what made you decide? Why'd you say yes?
So I kind of have to echo Latasha a little bit. So what made me partner with the company going on 5 years ago now was the encapsulated fruits and vegetables in a capsule or a gummy. As a trauma ICU nurse, I knew my family wasn't getting enough nutrition. Come on. I mean, we just weren't. It's not, honestly, I don't even think it's possible. And we were juicing. So I felt like if we can't do it, this just made sense. So so my background, I was slated, I grew up in Missouri, farm girl. I was slated to, you know, marry the farmer down the road. I know you guys think that's funny, but that is legit. And instead I went to college and went off to be, you know, a big city trauma ICU nurse. So totally different pathway to, you know, my parents had an acre garden. They grew everything. I mean, everything we ate came from the earth. No joke. Like, we didn't have canned goods. My mom canned everything. So for me, I was so resistant to the Tower Garden because I thought, I'm a farmer, like, at heart. You can't ever get rid of that. I'm sorry. Like, I got to grow out of the dirt. And we tried. I kid you not. My husband and I joke, it is our 4th year of dirt gardening. And this is the first year that we have gotten tomatoes that we could eat. 4 years. 3 years ago, when I finally said yes to the Tower Garden, we had tomatoes on our patio, 8 weeks after? You know, I mean, from seed to start. So I still got to have my dirt garden, but it's funny because we joke, and even the kids go, Mom, the cucumbers from the tower are better than the ones that you got out of your dirt. I'm still working on my dirt, guys, but that's just a personal thing. So, yeah, that was the reason why I partnered with this company, was just to, I thought I got to get this in families, because I'm the minority. Most people are like, I don't want to do your dirt thing. This is easy. I still don't know why I do the dirt thing. I think it's just in my blood.
So this company has, for those that are listening, this company has two different divisions, which I'll share a little bit more. But for Katie, she saw that, well, there's a division that encapsulates produce. So there's a division that grows, and then there's a division that puts the produce in powder form. And so Katie saw that, and that's what resonated with her. And so she thought, wow, other people could use this. Now, Michelle, what made you say yes to this partnership or being a part with this company?
Well, when I first partnered with the company, there was no tower garden. There was the fruit and vegetable concentrates. And that is what I knew my family needed. Just like Katie, I was like, oh my goodness, I had a son that was constantly sick. He was super picky eater. He was 14 months old, but would not eat vegetables. And I was like, well, that's an easy way to get it in his body. And so he loved the gummies. I started my kids off with the gummies. We started on the capsules and the shakes, and that was amazing. And then a year later, I happened to attend our conference, and they talked about coming out with the tower garden. And I was just like, there's no way I am going to be sharing this, because that's just ridiculous. Like, I'm not a gardener. Why would I share gardening? Like, I had no clue. It was at that conference that I came to find out that gardening is like the #1 hobby in the United States. I was like, what? Then it was like the future of growing, and all the things I learned. I was like, man, I was so ignorant. I had no idea. Just because I didn't like gardening, I had no idea how many people did use gardening and like to eat fresh produce. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, the tower garden was just a totally perfect fit with what we were already doing. We're already sharing a way to get concentrated nutrition from fruits and vegetables. And then the tower was like, well, if you don't want to do that, you can grow your own and get high nutrition from what you're growing, because what we're buying in the store is so deficient. So I'm just really grateful that I said yes. And yes to before the tower garden. And now I'm even more excited that I said yes after the tower garden, because it has really been a game changer for my family, for so many other people in my family that have a tower now. And I think during this time, they are more grateful than ever, just as I am, that I have been able to grow my own food, because it's really nerve-wracking going to the grocery store and trying to figure out, is this like even safe to eat right now? I don't know. So, it's just been phenomenal. Yeah.
So Elizabeth, why did you partner with this company? Why did you do this?
I partnered with this company because of the integrity this company has and the reputation it has from who referred me to it. Mm-hmm. And I knew that other people needed the health benefits that I was getting, and people were starting to ask me what I was doing. And with the tower, it actually was we got it at a time in our life where we were grieving something, and it honestly gave us something to look forward to. And I partnered with this company and got so excited to share with others, because part of this company has a benefit of getting one of these in every Boys and Girls Club in America. And it is my goal to do that here at my local Boys and Girls Club.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, Latasha, I know you said it was the pandemic. Before the pandemic, you were like, no, and then it was just that. So do you want to add anything to that, or did that cover why you said yes?
Yeah, so like I said, yeah, like 2.5 some years ago, my aunt, she's actually on the call here, Lynette. She the tower garden about 2.5 years ago in Juice Plus, and at the time it was a no. But what changed my mind was one day she actually posted in one of our family chats, she pulled some collard greens off of her tower in her house, and she was like showing us, hey, I pulled this off of my tower. This is what I'm cooking tonight. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, because this was during a time where it's like, don't go to the store if you don't need to, you know, limit, you know, where you're going, lockdown. So I'm like, okay, first of all, I can go to the store and stock up on as much stuff as I can, but I cannot stock up on produce. So how can I get produce in my house without having to keep going back to this grocery store? And so when I saw her post that, I'm like, I called her and I said, okay, Auntie, I need that tower garden. And so what she did was she introduced me to one of our tower garden calls. I got on that call. I was already sold. And so when I saw the business side, I'm like, okay, it makes sense to buy it for myself. And then I was just on a mission. I was on a mission after that. I'm like, everybody and their mama needs a tower garden in their house right now. With this pandemic, I'm like, if you don't get a tower garden, then I don't know what you're going to do. I really don't know what you're going to do, because they're either going to shut the stores down or the farmers markets are going to close. We don't know who's handling our food. You know, if you're not keeping up with what's going on with the farmers market, I'm like, they're getting sick just like everybody else. They don't have healthcare like we do, like a lot of people do, right? And there's so many produce recalls going on right now. So I just was on a mission at that point to talk to everybody I could about tower gardens, because we need to secure our own food source. We need to do it now before it's too late. So that was the reason why I actually partnered with the company. So
yeah. I'm going to ask this last question, and then I'm going to kind of let everybody know just a little bit more about the company, because we keep saying this company and there's two divisions, so we want to expand on that a little bit. But because we all do this as a business, and I want to say this is all of us, we're partners, but we don't have any like financial relationships with each other. But the company is just one big happy family, and for us, we're just buddies. We just work together and we do things together, but we all have our own separate franchise, which is beautiful because there's just so much collaboration. So I want to ask this question, because we are a part of this business, which means that in some ways, we make revenue at all different levels. And when I say this, we're not making any income claims at all. But this is a business. So my question to you, I'm going to go Katie, is that in what ways has this community and business impacted your life? Yes. So how has that impacted you?
So for me, and my mother-in-law always chastises me, to go from a 6-figure trauma ICU nurse, well-respected, you know, by nation, if not worldwide known physicians and surgeons, to, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I mean, it's awesome. And I don't discredit that position at all. But for me, financial was never really motivation for me. My husband's an anesthesia provider, and I love that I get to stay at home and do the things that I do love. But for me, it gave me purpose, that I was still giving families. I was actually in preventative care instead of crisis care, which is what I did do. So I was able to, you know, to help decrease and prevent chronic disease. And I have been able to do that through this company. So that was huge for me, because for any of you guys know who have children, respect is delayed. So I'm sure when my kids go to college, they're going to be like, I want some of mom's, you know, collard greens off her tower. I know, but our collard greens are actually, they went in Guy's Shake last night, so they're gone, but they're cut off. They need a couple weeks to regrow. But yeah, that was, you know, and then in the business side of it, my husband was like, he supports anything I want to do, anything. But when I got into the comma club, like financially, as far as my check goes, that was when he was like, oh, and he just walked in. That was when he was like, oh, wow. So, you know, you're making a little bit of extra money, you know? So I got to pay for our vacation this summer, which was huge, guys. Like, you know, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. So thank you for that. Yeah, I love that. And so we're going to go to Michelle. You've been in this business for 9 years.
9 years, yes.
9 years. So what has this business done for you and your family?
So for me, I know when I started 9 years ago, we were still reeling kind of from that 2008 recession. And there was just a lot going on. And financially, we were struggling. So it was either go back to work with these two little ones, which I wasn't looking forward to going back into my corporate position because I just knew it takes a lot, or find something else. And I was actually like studying to become a personal trainer because I had always had, health was always a passion for me, and especially fitness. And then I was introduced to this company and finding out about nutrition and how that was like, I felt like for me, it was a missing link in my health journey. I focused a lot on fitness, but not the nutrition side. And I was just like, how in the world did I not know this? And I just started telling all my friends and family about it. And naturally, it just happened to grow into more of a business because I was sharing it with so many people, and so many of my friends and family were like, you know what, I really think I need to get that because I know I don't get nearly enough nutrition in my diet, and I have this issue and that issue, and maybe it could help. So it turned into something that I was using to kind of offset our costs as a family getting started on it because we were already financially struggling, to something that was like bringing in income. And I mean, I know where Katie comes from. When she hit that comma club, you're like, yes, like I cannot believe I'm bringing in additional income into my family as I'm home with the kids and still just like living this different type of life that I never even really imagined. I always thought I'd have to go back into corporate, honestly. I never thought I'd be able to do this. And now it's been 9 years. And I have been home with my children for 9 years and still bringing in a significant income, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Thank you for that. That's beautiful. Okay, so Latasha, and then where did okay, so Latasha, we know you said you're new, 4 months. So for you, and it may be a duplicate, well, how has this impacted you? But you've done a lot in 4 months, or not 4, is it been 4 months, however many months, you've been doing a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started April 5th or 6th. I fast tracked to Partner Plus, then fast tracked to QSE within 20 days. So by the end of April, I was already at QSE, and I'm already at sales coordinator. And I have over 30 partners in my organization.
Wow.
I don't know how many customers we have total because I haven't really checked, but I do have over 30 partners. Includes several, I have a couple of QSEs, and my son is one of those. He's a QSE as well. So it has greatly impacted my life.
And you get checks, like you literally get checks for doing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, like people would think, yeah, they're like, really, we really do get paid to do good. Like,
yes, absolutely.
We do
get paid, and my son just joined last month. August. He just joined in August, and he made QSC by the end of August as well.
Wow.
So like it's really made a great impact in my family, and not only on a financial side, but even though I am a certified health coach, right? Just to kind of share like an experience for me, just taking Juice Plus, and I literally got in this business for the Tower Garden specifically. When I started taking Juice Plus, I took it because I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna sell it. I want to take it. I wasn't really looking for anything to happen, honestly. But a lot of things really did happen. I'm in my 40s. I've already hit menopause. And so with that, for anyone that knows, that comes with hot flashes, not sleeping good at night, mood swings, stuff goes on with your gums. Like, it's ridiculous. So when I started taking Juice Plus, the very first day, I slept good that night. And then over a couple of weeks, I noticed my hot flashes started to get better. And then I noticed over time that they went away. Like, I don't get hot flashes anymore, period. They're gone. And then I noticed that my gums were completely healed, and like I don't have any dental issues anymore. And just things just started happening. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why didn't I do this 2.5 years ago? Just glad I did now. So not just the financial, it has made a huge impact in my life personally, my dad's life, so my dad is on dialysis, and he's at quadruple bypass surgery. He has high cholesterol. He's diabetic. He used to be diabetic. I'm sorry. So all of his numbers, he's only been taking it for 2 months. All of his numbers have improved. His kidneys have improved, and he's on dialysis. So those of you that know, when you're on dialysis, that means you've had years of kidney failure by the time you get on dialysis. His kidney numbers have already improved. So it, in a short amount of time, has changed my life and my family's life, and I couldn't be more happier or more grateful. So yeah, the money is there, and I'm really happy about that, but also like the health side and me being a health coach, like that's everything.
Thank you for that. And I will make sure that we go over the 2 divisions, because you've heard her mention the other division. So Elizabeth, we're going to wrap this question up with you, is in what ways has this business impacted your life or in what you're doing? Oh, you got to unmute.
There I am. It has given me, it's opened my world. I have a number of conditions that have sidelined me for over a decade, and I was able to get back in the game, so to speak. I was able to travel again. I was able to engage with people and make appointments and keep them. So this whole mission and company is adding a lot more good to not just me, but everybody I know, because I'm on a mission that everybody at least make a well thought out decision to say yes or no to taking control of their own food sources and eating more fruits and vegetables.
And I want to say, for me, and I do want to say this, and those of you who know me, I've run a traditional business for a decade or more. And when I partnered with this company, kicking and screaming almost, it freed up so much of what was bogging me down in my traditional business. And it allowed me so much more flexibility with my time that I cannot turn around. And I'm super passionate about sharing produce, because that's what I always did as a nutritionist. But partnering with the company legitimately has changed everything for me. I just came back from spending a week on the East Coast, still working, still doing what I'm supposed to do, but I can just go. Whew. Okay, so what I want to do, just wrap it up so that you all can you all see my screen? Can somebody say you can see my screen? Okay. So I want to tell you that our parent company was founded 50 years ago, and there are 2 divisions, so I'll kind of summarize that. And just know that we're not making any income claims or specific claims to treat any diseases or medical conditions. Everybody is just telling what they experience. And the truth is, when you flood your body with raw, vine-ripened produce, the pits, the peel, the seeds, amazing things happen, be it that you take it in capsules or that you're growing it. Amazing things happen. And if you get your produce out of the store, you don't know what life is like or can be like when you're getting it untampered. It is a game changer. So what we do is we help families bridge the gap. Science shows that most people don't get enough produce, period. And people actually, at that time, when people were asked to eat 5 a day, only 20% of Americans were getting it at 5 a day. And now it's 9 to 13. So it's gone up because our illnesses and diseases and issues keep going up. And produce is powerful. If you know anything about it, it really matters. And so now we're told to eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. And most people can't do that. So what we feel an opportunity, because we bridge the gap. We can say grow it or take it as produce in capsules, and that has just been helping so much. So one division you heard a lot about was the Tower Garden, where we grow aeroponically, no dirt, 90% less water, space, and you can't mess it up, right? So that's one division. And then the other division, and you may or may not have heard about it before, is called Juice Plus. And when people hear it, they think it's a juice. It's not a juice. It is actually produce, water taken out and put into capsules. As I mentioned, the pits, the peel, the seeds, the core, everything. And it's backed by science. People see it and they think, oh, it's a multivitamin, and it's not. It's really all of what I mentioned. It's food in that capsule, and the capsule is vegan. So it's not a multivitamin. It's not non-GMO, it's NSF certified. If you're a trainer and in that field, you know what that is. And it's food. It has a nutrition label. Like if you were to go get broccoli, frozen broccoli, it says nutrition facts. So if you look at vitamins, you're going to see supplement facts. This is food. But what's more powerful about it is it has more than 30 different peer-reviewed research studies, not research just on fruits and vegetables, but research specifically on when you're taking Juice Plus in your body, what happens. And Elizabeth said it right, that she partnered with the company because of the integrity. And for me, it took me a while to actually introduce it to people because I wanted to read all of these journals, because I felt like as a nutritionist, if I'm going to make this recommendation, I need to know that it's legit. But what really got me was the fact that my baby, who was 11 at the time, was able to get these fruits and vegetables either in a chewable or the capsule for free. She took the chewable because she was 11 at the time, for free. So my child, the company does a health study for kids, the largest study nationwide, I believe, of the effects of this powdered produce in the body of our children. And so as a partner, as a customer, your child will get this. So for every adult that has the plant powdered Juice Plus, then you can sponsor a child between the ages of 4 and in college to get this for free. That's a game changer, because for moms, we don't, not that we don't care about ourselves, but when you tell us that this can help our child, then we're like, yeah, I want that. Never mind about my health, I want my child to have it. So what we do is we share the power of healthy eating. We do that through education. We do that through conversations, classes, testimonies, events. We are just out here literally fruit and veggie dealing. We are talking about produce and we love it. So we all have virtual franchises. And so what does that mean is that, and this is the part that was unbelievable to me, is that for $52 a year, not a month, a year, I have a whole business. So my traditional business, my holding costs thousands of dollars every month. And before I partnered, right, I had inventory and all these things. And when I partnered with that company, literally, it's crazy. Like when I tell you. So as a virtual franchisee, you get access to the distribution rights for Tower, Juice Plus, all the training, you get websites, all the things that you need to be successful. And it's a proven duplicatable system. And legit, it's $52 for the year. I mean, that by itself, super low investment. Like I said, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's legit. And there's no inventory. You don't have tower gardens in your backyard or in your closet trying to wait for people to buy them. You're not buying and reselling. You don't have Juice Plus products stored. The only thing you have is your stuff. So your tower, if you have Juice Plus, then that's all you have. And people come into this space differently. Some people just love Tower. Some people just love the plant powders, the Juice Plus side. Some people, a lot of people do it both. What I want to make a point is that we have the opportunity to have multiple franchises and partnerships. So hear me when I tell you this. If you want to go get a franchise, I'm going to use McDonald's. I probably should. It's not the good thing to use when we're talking about nutrition, but I'll just use it because we all know about it. It's millions of dollars to get a McDonald's franchise, one. So if you want another one, they don't even give you a deal. You got to pay like millions of dollars again. And so the way that we work is, and Latasha said it, and I know that Michelle has, I think, 100 partners and franchises that she collaborates with. So we have the opportunity to introduce other partners and they become a part of our franchise. And it's exponential and endless. So again, and you're not even paying the other $52. It's that person's franchise, but they're within your organization. So Natasha said she has 30 franchisees in her team. Michelle over 100. Katie and Elizabeth, I'm not sure. I don't remember right now. But we all have the opportunity as we, again, share the opportunity. We share in the revenue, and we get paid to do good in such a way that I couldn't even believe. Like, I thought somebody was lying to me. If this, for some, this is a career, some this is a side hustle or other, but for those that are making it a career, there's a corporate benefit package, legitimately. So medical insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, college tuition, disability, expense account, a holiday bonus is available to people who do this full time. So our community, as far as what that looks like, people become a part of our community as what I call family users. There's like, you know what, I want to be a part of it. I want to learn more about health and nutrition. I don't want to do a business. I just want to get a discount on my own Tower, my own Juice Plus, which I believe was with Michelle. That was her way of getting in, and then it turned into a business for her. So people come in that way. There are people who say, you know what, I see the opportunity. I want to do this as a side hustle. I can, pay my car payment or whatever the case may be. And they do it as a side hustle. That's what they do. And then there's other people, again, who do it as a career. And as a career, you do this, you're doing it full time and you're making a full-time income. And because of that, you get a corporate benefit package, which I think is really awesome, because when my company, Necessary Nutrition, didn't nobody give me a benefits package. I had to buy my own in order to get that. And the company actually, and this is a true story, provides me with an expense account to help me with my business. That's legit. So it's a good thing. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna open it up for any questions that you all may have related to the company or just any of that. If you have specific, I will just open it for questions, but I would just say, explore the possibilities. This may or may not be for you. We gave you an overview. There's other things to know and to ask, but the person that invited you here, they can get you more information and take, what's the next step. But it is as simple as what I said to you. The franchise fee is $52 for the whole year, and you literally will purchase whatever you need from yourself. And if you share Tower Garden or Juice Plus, then you get compensated for doing that. And that's how we do it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And are there any questions that I can answer or we can answer for anyone before we go? All right. So any of my co-conspirators, co-collaborators, do you want to have any last minute comments before we hop off? Okay. Well, I thank you. Y'all could have been anywhere this evening, but y'all were here with us. So we hope that, again, you contact the person that invited you here just to fact find out more information, explore, and see if this is something that it makes sense for you on so many levels. And we have fun with each other. I've got some really good friends. I mean, I talk to Elizabeth. I feel like I talk to Elizabeth all of y'all, actually. Latasha, we don't talk every day because we just met. But the rest of us, we become like a family. Yeah, legitimately. So, all right. Well, that's all for me. I'm going to stop the recording.